Paycheck to paycheck, man.
Huh.
Your house is paid for. Got it. Got it. You just don't spend money on necessary items. That's perfectly fine.
Unnecessary items. Well, that's how it goes in 2025, right? You know, that's the meme that floats around is all the kids, they're out there buying iPods and video games and all this, all this frivolous shit that you do not need iPods? Whatsoever. And then you know what? I just can't stand how much money comes out of my paycheck for taxes and healthcare. Can you believe this?
Right. I would like to know how much an iPod costs nowadays.
Do they even make those anymore?
I know, right?
Nope.
I was trying to think. I'm like, when's the last time I seen it? I'm going to look it up.
I'm like, wait a minute. What is an iPod?
What is an iPod? Do you remember that scene? Remember that House episode where the dude woke up from like a 10-year coma? Do you remember, AJ, you have to remember that episode. You and I talk about House every once in a while.
The one in which one? There was 3 guys that woke up from that.
Well, there's an episode of House where, I don't know, I was an older guy, but he woke up and I just remember that scene where he was in the car driving with House and he's like, what is an iPod?
Yeah.
What?
Oh. That's the guy who woke up.
Yeah. I didn't realize that they have this is a branching conversation, but I didn't realize they have like a closet somewhere in the hospital or like a floor of rooms where they just put the coma people. Is there just a curation? Is there like a curation floor that's almost like a floor of people that are in comas? Is that like long-term stay?
I don't know. I don't work in that kind of hospital.
You don't do that kind of. You don't do that kind of stuff.
They're all kind of coma patients. And Jamie, no longer do they make them. They stopped May of 2022.
Really? That's how recent they've been stopped making them?
That means hold on to them because they're worth money. They're now a collector's item.
They're now a great collector's paperweight. The iPod Nano.
Oh, you looked up when the last time they made iPods was.
Of course he did. He's the
I guess you wouldn't.
I would never sell anything to AJ because he would literally Google it the entire time I'm talking to him.
He'd be that guy that. He would have Googled it 6 times before he ever showed up to buy it, and then he would Google it in front of you for effect to try to get a better price.
Yeah, and then tell me how to do it.
I would.
This is how you actually do your job.
It says right here. I just looked this up on the internet, and I feel like I'm overpaying.
I'm not the one that's cheap here.
I'm not cheap. I am using a free Muxboard bottle opener to open a Corona Sunbrew Citrus Cerveza. It's not good either.
Cerveza.
It does not sound good.
Cerveza. It's not good. This guy at the Mexican restaurant Katie and I went to like last week, he goes to the same gym that we go to, that I go to once or twice a month. And he remembers us. So we sat down next to him, said, "Hey, how you doing?" And he's like, "Man, you got to try this beer. It's out of this world." And he talked it up, and we instantly went to the store and bought some, and I popped one open. I'm like, I think this guy must only drink Bud Light ever. And it's the first time that he tasted something that didn't, like, it tastes like shitty beer with just a little bit of lime in it. So basically what a Corona should taste like when you just put a lime in it with a little bit of orange juice, maybe.
What does that even mean?
I mean, I've never had orange juice. Usually it's like Blue Moon I've had orange juice with.
This is what it tastes like. It's orange juice.
You mean an orange slice?
No, not orange juice. I don't know. Maybe that would work. I do like Blue Moon with.
I usually use vodka in my orange juice.
Did you guys see the what do you call it? The Discord post that just popped up?
No, in our Discord.
Yeah.
Hold please.
Somebody named
podcasting. Didn't see it.
This mail. Please. It just popped up. It's kind of interesting.
Let's check it out. I've not really been on Discord in the last couple of days. I'm an excellent Discord curator. Where this
7:45 today, General.
It's not just popped up. That was an hour ago.
For me, it was 8 minutes ago.
Oh, sorry. I was looking at. You said 7:45, and I'm rewinding. Like, J-Boz said, like, post a picture of a baby running around at 2:00, and the next post is at 8:45. Yeah, my parents are trying to stop me from getting my display fireworks job. Okay, and they say I'm gonna die. Don't have access to my social, even at 18, as they have. So, as they have, got it. So they are basically able to stop me from doing everything. Guy sounds young. I mean, 18 years. Yeah, I mean, 18 years, sure. As the crow flies, that's the old school. Guess what, Mom, Dad? I'm a man. I'm going to do whatever I want.
Do what I want.
I do what I want. In my house, so it's my rule still.
Nah, I don't know if they.
This is true. This is true. I mean, it is dangerous.
Should make this whole episode a therapy over chat with this guy. Just bang on the keyboard and try to chat it out. It'd be like that. What was that one movie where they were trying to talk that was more fun though, because he was trying to talk to the terrorists over the phone.
I remember my buddy,
Gibson movie.
His parents told him to get out or said, you can't have a motorcycle while you live here. He said, okay. Moved out the next day, bought a motorcycle.
Where'd Gary go? He moved out. He's in the shed. Yeah, said he moved out, but he's really just living with the lawnmower. This is interesting. It really isn't both of my parents. My mom is fine with it, but never lets me do anything without my dad's approval. He doesn't care what I think or show him. Interesting. This could be a rabbit hole. I think he's going to get a lot of quality support from the community.
Just ultimately, his parents are his parents. They're not going to. They're going to raise him the way they see that they feel is going to be best. I mean, they have his best interest at heart, but they're apparently not from the fireworks industry at all. Mm-hmm. And all they hear is what the news says, which is not good stuff.
At Dismal, let's see. What does your family envision you doing for the rest of your life? What did Mom tell Grandma Joanne every Christmas?
Let AJ talk to him.
You were, let's say 7. Our little Dismal, at Dismal, can't forget the ats. Our little Dismal is going to be make a wonderful blah, 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 X. Insert little arrow. Insert job here. Occupation. That sounds better.
Fred.
Did
a
Fred chime in?
Job could be a lot of things too. I would caution you jumping into anyway, because it's not all glory. It's only like 98.7 glory.
It's 98.7, and there's certainly, I'm going to reply to that, and there's certainly not a whole lot of money in it unless you want to like own it. Maybe just do business school and then own your pyro business. Then you get all the glory and the money.
This kind of fits with tonight's pyro topic.
Yeah, it does.
What are the odds?
It does. I don't have to minimize this chat.
Welcome to the Rhythm Pyro Podcast, where Posey, AJ, and Jamie ignite your passion for pyromusical show design while testing the very limits of your capacity for stupid.
It's funny. Fred goes, you guys are getting paid?
I love that movie.
When did you get ice cream? When the fuck did we get ice cream?
You're getting $30,000? I'm
Welcome
getting
to the Rhythm Pyro
1,000.
podcast. I'm Bo. That's AJ.
Hola.
That's Jamie.
Hello.
We're hobbyists and semi-professional pyro show designers. This podcast is a place where we can get together, drink beer, watch the Discord, and respond in 3 or 4 days in arrears, and talk shop, fireworks, art, share tips, tricks, news, and design insights with you. Go join the Discord. Speaking of, you're going to love it. We don't do this much, so God bless Dismal and the poor guy's woes. We really hope the familial situation gets better. When we're done podcasting, we'll come and jump into this. And who knows, maybe you'll inspire us to make some kind of infomercial or something that we can film, and then you can show your parents. Like, Mom, look, we can do that. I can be like those guys. Then she's really not going to want you to do this.
Yeah, right. She listens to this. She's like, no.
Yeah. Well, and then you just tell her, you say, Mom, listen, go over to patreon.com/Rhythm Pyro and just put your credit card in to the system.
It's a shit show, Mom.
Stop talking about
real.
it.
They're a figment. It's not really how fireworks are.
Yeah. No, I like the I like the topic suggestion for this evening. Pyro Misconceptions.
It just came to me today, thinking of all the things that random people ask me when I talk to them about fireworks, and they start talking about something, and I'm like, not quite.
Yeah. And it's crazy the way that your mindset changes over the years. You know, the more that the more that you're exposed to anything, the more used to it you get. But the longer you do anything, the more like either aha or what the fuck was I thinking moments you have. Yeah, right. Or oh no's. Yeah.
Why did I do that again?
But before we get too far into this, I'll tell you what's not an oh no moment. COBRA firing systems.
From the desk of the fine folks at COBRA Firing Systems. Fireworks are more than just shows. They're about the people behind those shows. The people who make this industry special. COBRA Firing Systems is proud to support the shit show, Rhythm Pyro Podcast, and the passionate pyro community that continues to push the craft forward. Thank you, Scott, and the entire gang at COBRA for supporting the show. Go visit COBRAFiringSystems.com.
Did you know that the 7.0 has some kind of security mode on it?
I did not know.
Yeah. Well, and I didn't really know this either, but I did a little research after. I think I read Zach's write-up on security mode, and I guess Scott and those guys are working on a way to make it like wildly evident and in your face as to what security mode the modules are in their wireless encryption communication, which is a good thing because that's information that you need.
We got to make it dummy proof, right?
Yeah, right. Well, it's good to know, right? Because I think of the confusion that could potentially cause if you power up a module and you go to sync it with the 18R2 and you're seeing. Yeah, you're seeing that they're syncing. Like you're going through the action of syncing all the hardware. You get the sync, and then all of a sudden you don't see it on the system. But there's not really, if there's no indicator or anything, it'd be, that would cause people to go, oh my gosh, what's happening?
When you're under the gun like that, you're thinking on your feet. oh, wait a minute, why didn't I think about that? You know, it just slips your mind because you got 17 other events happening at the same time. So that dummy LED or node or LCD screen it's an epic thing to do. And the added security is great too.
Oh, dude, for some of these big events where, like, because I always wondered what the level of encryption was on the units and, you know, how secure it was in the network that kind of floats around, because they do, right? They're sniffing for packets all the time. They want to know, you're like, hey, what traffic that exists on this band is for me. And then like that gets processed. But the fact that they've built in additional security for applications where you would absolutely need a rock solid advanced secured network, like it's great. I think it's a quality advancement and the next step. It's just, you know, tailoring that human interface for information. So you're kind of cluing the user in as to what's going on with the system.
The multi-queues, that's a good thing to have for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, come to think of it, like I don't know, admittedly, I don't know much about 7.0. I've not spent any time on that firmware release at all. And I think I've just read the release notes and that's just about it. But I know there's a lot of changes in 7.0 compared to some of the previous
7.1.
changes. It's 7.1, but I'm speaking in terms of revision itself.
It's all about the sevens.
5, 6, 7.
What's in
and then
the box?
Didn't decide to go into everything that was after the decimal point. Thank you. Thank God you're here.
You said 7.0
for everyone, for everybody else. Right. Well, I was just talking in
7.
revision 7.
Oh,
yeah. But 7.1 doesn't work with 7.0.
Oh my God. Moving on.
Okay.
There's
Pyro
added security.
misconceptions.
It's cool.
Misconception number 1 is that as you get better at pyro, you're going to become more tolerable to be around as a human being.
No, this is a total misconception. Case in point, Alfredo. What is it?
Alfred.
Yeah, I found your guys' names too. I'm just holding on.
Badminton for you. I won't even be mad if you pay that guy to make fun of me. I'm sure people have to pay for special names. But I was furiously looking for, because as close as he got was Alfred. I was like, I've got to find an Alfredo. And if there is not one, I'm going to pay him, because I don't know what is he Filipino?
I have no idea.
What do you figure his ethnicity? I don't know. Whatever his country is, I'm just hoping that the dollar retains such a good value that I can pay him like $50 and literally get him to say whatever I want.
Probably for $50.
$50. Yeah, right. Okay. AJ, kick it off. Let's do misconceptions.
Kick
Where
it
do you
off.
want to start? Kick it off.
I guess I was thinking more of just talking about misconceptions of how the public sees stuff and how they think the whole fireworks world is versus, you know, like newbies who come in, and then going from that to, you know, semi-seasoned people like us, you know, or semi-professionals as we call ourselves. Yeah. So like a big one that I get this from everybody. Every time I talk about fireworks and stuff, they think it's just, you know, going out there, setting stuff up for an hour or two, and then like it's nothing. It's easy. 100%.
Yeah, you'll buy it and light it.
Yeah, just go out there and it's simple. You're just lighting off some colored little lights. They don't understand the actual.
We do it every year, man. We do it every year.
Yeah,
we go to Phantom and fill up 3 carts full. Buy 2, get 1 free. Or buy 1, get 2 free.
You go to that Phantom, you get that buy 1, get 1, 2 free. Oh man, you get that good deal.
Yeah. I'm a platinum customer.
Yeah,
I know what it's like.
Customer.
I know what it's like.
I mean, I fill my trunk when I leave. I even put them in the back seat. Yo.
I almost filled the bed of the truck one time.
At Phantom? You poor thing.
It hurt.
Really? I was going to say that must have hurt the wallet.
Yeah.
Please tell me they gave you a deal.
It hurt.
Oh, he had a guy.
Buy two, get one free, or buy one, get two free. I can't keep track of that stuff.
I remember
taking 9 on the boards.
When Amber's brother's friend turned 18, I took him to Indiana to get fireworks. And when we walked in, he bought, just a couple $100, and I had hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of stuff. And I get done checking out. I go out to the car, start loading. He comes out. He's like, look what he gave me for free. And he just gave him 2 500-gram cakes. I'm like, what the hell, man? You just spent $100. I just spent like 1,000. He didn't give me.
He's got you. He's already got you as a customer. He doesn't need to retain you. You're going to be back. That guy, I never seen him before. Give him a little something. There was
actually, I saved that guy because when I got up to the counter, it was like July 2nd, and we went out there, did a midnight run, and he was sleeping at the cash register. I could have literally just walked out the door. So instead, I went over there and I tapped on the table and even said, "Oh man, thanks for waking me up." And you give that dude 2 fucking cakes, not me.
There's a fire in your back room.
I could have just walked out with it.
There's a guy smoking in the back.
You should have.
No, he was the only dude there.
You should have offered to assess the state of his toilet. Oh God, that was going to lead me into in another story, but I completely forgot what the story was. There's a good one though. It'll come back to me. But yeah, I get it completely. I mean, that also often. I mean, how many times have you heard it on your shoot sites where you're starting to set stuff up and you're 1 or 2 days? I mean, pick any period of time that you're out there doing something, and a neighbor walks up and they're like, "Wow, I had no idea."
Oh, absolutely. The best is more like at the end of the night when everything's all done and they help you clean up and everything, and they're just sitting there hurting. And you're like, "What's wrong?" "That was a lot, man." "No kidding."
I can't believe that you guys do this for what's effectively a few minutes. There was one neighbor that asked Dad and I one time. He's like, and it wasn't one of like the off the cuff, funny, tongue in cheek. You guys do this for fun. I mean, as after a couple of years, he kind of looked at us and just the state of our human existence, sweat, literal blood, sweat, and tears. And you almost look like, because after days and days and days of, especially Dad and I, we get in these little arguments and it's like on display for all the neighbors to see and stuff. They're like, "You guys, you find this fun? This is fun for you?"
Some days.
Yeah. And then that's when Dad starts doing the Ric Flair woo and screaming about gunpowder and the smell of it. Yeah, right. Screaming about gunpowder and yeah. He loves it. He absolutely loves it.
Yeah.
And that's the difference, though, is we have to, and people that just come watch the shows, they just have to love the 15-minute show or 18-minute show they get to watch.
Yeah.
But they have no idea of what it actually takes to do that for them.
I think so many people don't even, because fireworks to the true, I'm saying tried and true onlooker, the person that's sitting in a crowd at like Disney or somebody that just goes to an annual show, that it never really crosses their mind, because that there's a point in each one of our lives where we've looked up at fireworks and we know what fireworks are, but we have no idea how they're discharged. You don't know the intricacies and the processes and the planning and just
the time.
Anything. Yeah, anything. The time investment. You have no idea what goes into any of that. I mean, you're almost looking at it like it's this black magic. Like I just wonder how it gets from here to there.
I mean, I always have those people that they come up, they're like, "Oh man, I want to learn how to do this, and that'd be so awesome." But then when you get them on the site and you're like, "All right, here's a rack. I set it up for you. This is the easy part. Just pull this out, pop this match in, plug it in, 1, 2. And after about a rack, you can just see the look on their face of like, man, I don't want to do this anymore. Come on, I thought you wanted this is the part to that part. Well, you're not having fun now. If you want the glory, you got to earn it.
F3, baby.
He'd come up to you after the table, and he's like, "That's what Jamie should have done at PGI." She'd said, "Yeah, like all those positions, they did pretty well, but I mean, F3 was just hitting on all cylinders.
It was spot on, man.
It was pretty great. I watched it the whole time.
You spent 72 hours on it.
An hour a queue.
Got to double check. Pulled the powder weight out.
Yeah. I mean, another big misconception with fireworks too, and I think you find this with a lot of municipalities where fireworks may not be legal within city limits or what have you, right? It's the whole pyro is just for the 4th of July. You just do it on 4th of July and that's really it. Because I mean, you can go into that so deep that it winds up being like, do you want to do it? I mean, in the club scene, you can literally pull a permit and shoot fireworks anytime you want, so long as you have the permission of, like, if you own the land or you have the permission of the property owner and you want to shoot fireworks and you have the funds to do it and you pull the permit, you're good to go. I mean, they're not just for holidays. And I think that, I guess where I was going with that thought originally was the neighbors would get pissy, right, around some of the holidays that weren't necessarily considered the 4th of July, but they thought, why are we seeing fireworks? Why are we hearing fireworks? We shouldn't be.
Yeah, another one too for me, I think, is this has to go with more like the public when they're buying consumer fireworks, thinking that because they're consumer fireworks, they're not dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah, that's a huge misconception.
Even
if
after
anything,
you have people
sometimes
tell
those
them
are more dangerous.
Yeah.
And it goes for, I'm going to bust out my buddy here, Rob. I gave him some mortars and I gave him a tube and some shells. And I'm sitting on the back deck with my family, and I think my brother-in-law and sister-in-law were over, and I hear thump. I'm like, what the hell was that? Boom! Right over the head, or right over our heads. So he was standing across the street from my house, held the mortar tube in his hand, lit it, shot it up over my house, and just made it over my roof and blew up like 10 feet above us.
Oh my God.
And I hear him going across the street. I'm like, oh, that's Rob. So I go out front. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, man, those things got a kick. You would never know.
Dude, oh my God. Yeah, that's
like,
that.
You could have killed us.
Oh, dude, he could have killed himself.
I know.
He killed himself. Yeah.
Who cares about you?
Maybe I should have. Maybe Rob, next time I'll save the box because it has the instructions on it, buddy.
Oh, I guess I didn't give him a box.
Shoot flaming balls.
There's warning labels on them.
Flaming balls.
Yeah,
I thought it was like a Roman candle,
That was how that one kid died that one year. Remember that was a real big thing because he was goofing off and he put the mortar on his head and then he lit a shell. It was a canister shell, and then it kicked and compressed his spine and killed him.
I mean, that happened in Iowa, same exact thing. It was an uncle and he had his nephews out front, or nephew and niece. Took it on his head and lit it off and boom, killed himself.
See, that's where Dismal's issue comes in, is that's what the news focuses on, is the stupidity and ignorance of people, I said, let's talk about idiots. We're doing it. It's common sense, and that's what's hyper focused in the news. And great. This is how we get rid of fireworks because, you see, it kills people. Well, so does driving cars if you don't use them correctly. So does anything. There is rules and proper methods to do anything. It's just we focus on the things that people don't like because they got dogs. That's weird because we have dogs in the army and dogs in the police. They're around noises all the time. Your dog just wasn't. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, I think fireworks often get they get a bad rap because when they're in the hands of the consumer, because the consumer is inherently, for the lack of a better term, stupid. And this is why we have why there's regulatory bodies like the CPSC and all of the regulation that exists in the US, like that you could blanket peanut butter spread over any industry, right? Because people have done dumb stuff, like all the different traffic laws that we have and all of the different, just pick any kind of regulation that we have. If you can say to yourself, yeah, I think this sector is overregulated, it's probably because somebody did something stupid and the industry reacted to it. And it's a shame that it gets to that, but fireworks, it really does. It makes you wonder how long this industry has been able to hold on to what it has, which is it speaks to the competencies of the industry and organizations like the APA and the NFA for being able to work with lobbyist groups and politicians and regulatory bodies to keep fireworks legal, right? To continue working with them to make products safer. And I think product has never been safer than it is today. That was something that, they were saying a lot within the last couple of years at a lot of the different community events that we went to and industry events, was they've never really been safer because they are, while it is old school and they're still building all this stuff by hand, they're still trying to do things and make technological advancements that make sense within the realm of fireworks to make them ultimately safer.
Yeah. Not only that, the fact that the amount of education they put out there for people too. I mean, that's one of the best safety measures ever. People being educated how to properly use an explosive. Makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally.
It's like being AJ's friend. If it came with a rule book, I'd be a lot better off.
Yeah. And and that's just it. That's where the stupid lies, because you're not going to be able to, some completely capable, level-headed person can go to the fireworks store and buy fireworks, but so can a complete moron that intends to, he'll sign any safety waivers and take any pamphlets that, the store Mormons want to hand him as he goes out the front door, and he's going to go home and just kind of chuckle and then do something really dumb. But it's like, stupid as stupid does. What can you do? You can only try to educate and then react, and you really hope that the industry doesn't get to a point where it's like, we need to overregulate it, like we've done the auto industry so much, to where the auto industry is just like, it basically makes, I'm surprised that any of us are allowed to drive cars anymore.
Well, they make them smarter for people.
Yeah, right.
The cars are getting smarter.
Yeah, if we take the driver out of cars,
the equation,
then we won't have any more accidents. It's going to be great.
No traffic. I can't wait.
Just scrub the human right off of this thing and we'll be fine. So what about like novelists and, like newbies to pyro? What do you think some misconceptions are from guys that are just logging into the Facebook groups for the first time?
Michael Carr on here.
Oh, he'd be able to give you a laundry list right off the bat. Well, I mean, we were all there. What are some things that you guys thought going into fireworks when you first? I think we're so hungry initially to learn it that we almost, like, it doesn't matter. It's just it's a hurdle, right? It's a hurdle and it's a problem, and it's just something that we have fun trying to solve. I think if you're into pyro, period, you're a problem solver. You're somebody that likes to progress and learn and get better. because I think that the hobby, just as a hobby, completely does away with people that aren't into that. They'll maybe do it for a season. They'll go, you know what, this is way too much work. I'm not going to do this ever again. But the guys that kind of persevere, I feel like that's a little bit of a different story. I mean, do you guys agree?
Yeah, and I guess for like newbies, it just depends on how they come in newbies. Like you get the guys that they see a show and they're like, they've never really played with fireworks before besides just shooting something in their backyard and like, I want to do that. And then they join a club. So their perception going into that club is something completely different compared to like someone like us. I don't know. I guess Jamie came in. Did you join the club right after or before you shot your show, or your first show, or after?
After.
So it was after. Okay. So same thing, I guess, with you going into that, you know, shooting fireworks in your backyard, just having fun with a lighter, and then going, all right, let me do this. And then you come out and do something. Once you join that club and had people to just kind of like walk you through things and ask questions, you're like, it's all the things that you didn't think about doing that made life 10 times easier, but also made you go, oh, that's a good idea. For instance,
I still do that shit.
So like for instance, and I think I talked to you about this a while back, Bo, and a lot of people probably don't even talk about it. Fans, they keep you nice and cool in the summer, but they're also really dangerous to use around E-Match.
Yep. Yeah.
Nobody even thinks about doing it. Static charge. But again, it has to be with a certain kind of blade on the fan.
Yeah. 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 It charges the air, but you're totally right. I mean, I think the wise pyrotechnician is somebody who always keeps an open mind throughout every step of their career. And, you know, whether
doesn't
they're doing
become
this
complacent.
Exactly. You know, like when you get to, I think when you get to a point where you feel like you've learned everything, one, you're probably talking to a human being that either they really like themselves and they really like the job that they do and they think they have it down pat, but they're not necessarily, I don't know. I would venture to guess.
That's a prime example of you with masking tape and princess tape.
Yeah, I used masking tape for a billion years, and then, you know, my racks I thought that my racks were destined to look like garbage forever. And then saw AJ using princess tape, frog tape, and then I'm like,
you gave him a hard time for over a year.
This stuff just comes right off. You could leave it on there for 3 months and it just comes right off, leaves no residue. How about that?
That's all right. We all learn from each other. It's like Bo telling me, don't build those wood racks. Ah, man, it's cheap. I could do it.
Yeah, it's cheap, man.
I've done it. Don't do it. Ah, man.
Okay, this is a lot of work.
$100. Yeah, exactly.
And I got to store it.
Man, it took me hours to zip tie all that stuff.
Oh my God. Yeah. I've got all my wood racks still. I use them occasionally for my 4x8.
I guess that's a really good one for newbies coming in. Like, I can do it cheaper this way. Okay, good. You could probably do it cheaper. Yes, I've done it myself. But it's the time saving that is crucial, and you'll figure that out later. Or you can just listen to people that are telling you, you choose. You can save a little bit of money, or you can save a whole lot of time. And it's the time is what you'll never get back.
Some people got to learn the hard way, but I did the same thing. Troth racks. God, man, it makes me sick. It was so much work. And then when you go to make your show bigger the next time, you're like, there ain't no way. That's when you buy 21 Kritka racks.
No.
On your first order.
And then, I mean, that's almost like an example of, I think we had an episode, umpteen episodes ago, where we were talking about, you know, it is more always better. I think that's a big misconception in pyro for any level of pyro, because after a while, more isn't necessarily better. Everything should.
It's not like alcohol.
Well, hold on. Are we talking more product? Are we talking more?
I'm saying
supply.
More anything.
Yeah, more supplies are good. Obviously having resources. There's nothing wrong with having
More
an abundant
friends.
resource pool. But I'm talking in context of
Product.
you
Minutes.
know what? I will venture out and be the contrarian on this and even say on yes, it's good to have the resource pool, but what's the flip side of owning so much gear?
Storage.
Right? Tons of storage, tons of maintenance. There's a lot that goes along with it. And sure, you can walk around like a big...
And then you get a lot you got a truck?
Yeah, let me check my shared calendar.
You got a trailer?
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, all of that stuff is awesome. Because you're going to cultivate some of the best friendships ever, especially if you love fireworks.
This is true. I'm actually forgetting some of my friends' names.
What does that mean?
Your friends are identified as guy that has 5 of my racks, guy that has 3 of my racks,
He probably
meet
does
guy
see
one,
who has
meet
them.
guy
15 of
one,
my
meet
racks.
guy
Yeah.
2.
Meet guy one, meet guy two.
Mod guy, fireball guy,
Fireworks storage guy.
storage fireworks 1 guy, storage fireworks 2 guy, guy that annoys me, best friend, check.
And this is
Buddy
exactly
with
how they're
wallet.
saved in your phone.
They are actually. So, super best friend Plata, super best friend Doomstick.
That's all right. Maybe second. Maybe Dad's going to listen to this and go, that is not how you say this name.
Well, we know how.
You're
we
in
know
trouble.
Where is he
how,
going? I'm
we
used
know
to
how
getting
AJ says the
butchered.
name.
Well, I guess taking it to the season thing, now that you know where you are in your life of pyro and everything now, looking back when you were getting into it, at the time then, were you thinking about, I guess more like you would think now, I guess, thinking back then, do you wish that you would have bought more stuff then? Or at the time, did you just not know what you were going to need?
I think at
Who you
first
asking?
it's probably just
Both of you.
softball for the round table. Take it away. I will concede the floor to you, sir.
I was listening.
Well, Jamie already gave his answer. He's I just went
I
out
was
and bought everything I needed right away.
Actively listening out loud.
I wish I had more friends when I first
With
started,
confirmation.
like pyro friends. That's what I wish, because then I could have had a little bit more knowledge than YouTube. Because YouTube is dangerous. You got people of all different makings telling you how to do it, from little boxes with holes and handles that usually come from the dairy department to people telling you got to buy the best racks in the world to, hey, just make your own. Well, which one is it?
Right. Which one makes sense for me? And I think that's like the number one greatest skill that any pyrotechnician can just be cognizant of. It doesn't necessarily need to be a skill. It doesn't necessarily need to be a skill right off the bat, but you have to be able to objectively look at how you're going to use the gear that you do have, and then use logic to apply. How does this make sense to me? Does this guy's methodology make sense to me? Or does this guy's methodology make sense to me? Because one thing that I think always bothered me about the community for the longest time is every single one of those people, with the exception of a good fair few, like there's some awesome people giving good advice, but for the most part, I think the ego eats away at this industry and the people that are really good at what they do a lot of times, and they'll use language like you need to do it this way because this is the way. It's like the fucking Mandalorian. Like you have to do it this way because
that's what I hate about
stupid.
Facebook.
Yeah, you're stupid if you don't do it this way, which is it's a dangerous way to think. But like the minute you start getting that from influencers and people that are doing this stuff on YouTube, for the most part, a lot of the main YouTubers are fantastic for not doing that, because they're literally providing you with 15 different options, and then you can pick which one makes sense to you, and then you roll with it.
Well, you don't lay down on the ground and use your peripherals to make sure you're in your shoot site is within a safe distance.
Yeah, exactly. Just look straight up, and if you can see a building, it's like, it's fine. It's okay.
Well, if I could do it over again, I wish I had joined the club so much sooner, and not been scared or overwhelmed. Like, I don't know. I'm not a pyro. I don't want to. They're going to look down on me because I know nothing. I really wish I joined the club a long, long time ago, because so much knowledge is in the club, and you can grow from that. And learn the safe way to do things.
There's so much, dude. And I'm with you. I can empathize.
Because it was scary.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't even remember how we met. I remember watching your shows. And, I think that's what it was. I watched your shows, like, oh my God, that's so awesome. And then I found OPAG. And I looked at it for a while, but then I was just going through reading about OPAG, and I'm like, "Oh, dumb is it?" I'm like, "Wait a minute,
that guy."
Oh my God! So then I was like, I just drank enough to say I'm going to send him a message. And you were like, "Yeah, man." That I'm like,
liquid bravery.
But I was nervous. I was scared to reach out to a club. It really is. I don't care if you know nothing about fireworks. It is the best thing you could ever do to learn anything and make friends and connections. It's freaking awesome.
Yeah. And that, I was so apprehensive when it came to getting into pyro. I think when you look the legalities of fireworks, because I was, I've joked before that I'm not a Boy Scout. Dad was a Boy Scout, and Dad's like way more live on the edge than I am. I don't like to do stuff that could potentially get me in trouble. And I knew my hobby was progressing to a point where it needed to be like, I needed to figure out an outlet for this. And I'm glad I did, because, I was getting to the point where I was basically dipping and dodging the police to shoot fireworks, and that's not healthy in any way. So it's like when you find an outlet to scratch the itch, then you're solid. You're legal. You get to go someplace. You get to experience like-minded human beings, and nobody's gonna bite, man. Everybody is very, very welcoming in the club scene. And sure, I'm not going to tell you that over the course of your pyro journey, you're not going to meet assholes, because you will. It's just, I think it's something that it's something that comes along with pyro is, there's people that are really good at what they do, and the people that are really good at what they do want to make sure that all you're thinking about all the time is them. Yeah. They want to make sure that that they exist. But for the most part, everybody is really cool and really open, and the club scene is like an open book always.
Yeah, there's always someone though you meet though, but they remind me of that person who's like, no, let him put his head over that tube. Let him do it.
Yeah.
That was close, wasn't it?
Yeah. If this guy kills himself, then we can use this as a learning experience right before the club gets taken for every dime it has. And then
AJ
some.
will be that guy.
What is that? No way.
Yeah, you were so that guy.
No.
That guy. Did that hurt?
No, I would never. I've never said that to anybody.
How'd that make you feel? I bet you won't do that again.
Never, ever said that.
No, just to your kids, right?
It's different though. They're not. It's things that I know. That I'm like, well, that's not what I do. It's not going to kill them.
Well, it's not necessary. I'm not saying on that aspect of the killing part. It's just anything in general. Well, I guess they'll figure it out.
Well, I mean, but AJ uses his best, filter to try to determine. I think he's making a decision immediately. He's like, you know what? If I let this person do something that I think is stupid, is it going to harm them in any way? And if the answer to that question is yes, then he'll be like, okay, maybe don't do that. But if the answer is no, and it's just like it
might hurt a lot,
find out type thing, he's gonna be like,
absolutely,
all right, have fun.
He might join in.
Don't say that I didn't warn you.
Yeah, sit in that chair. Leg's broken, but hey, let's see what happens.
Yeah, it's more like, hey, while you're matching that, try not to just like point it at your jaw.
Yeah.
Wait, I should sit on the loaded rack of fireworks? It's lunchtime. Oh,
hey, man,
God.
when you need a bed. Okay, nap time's that time.
Yeah. It's kind of like little dimples on your back, you know?
It's like a massage gun.
Yeah. I think I killed her.
Happened?
No, she's passed out. You got way too close to the neck thing. It said in the instructions not to get too close to that nerve.
The river's over there. Just dump it.
Was that a gun? No, I swear to God, it was a massage gun. Yeah, that's like how often have we heard this in, if we start progressing into like the professional world, that's how we've always done it.
Yeah.
And I think that's almost that could be used as a misconception for processes and procedures. I mean, I'm not a professional. I'm not and when I say not professional, meaning I don't shoot fireworks for income,
money.
Right? I'm not out there working for a display company. We do subcontracting, but I don't count that at all because it's all in context with the club. But, processes and procedures, I think, are developed, whether it be at the club level or the industry level or business, small business, big business, doesn't matter. You develop it and then like you're hogtied into it. You feel like you're married to it for all eternity. But I think the minds behind the desk that are writing those policies and procedures, the hands that are holding the pen, they have to be cognizant and aware of how technology is changing through the industries. Mm-hmm. Because if the technology is changing and you could potentially be either offering yourself a cost savings or making your crews safer by making changes and getting away from saying stuff that's laced with, this is how we've always done it. So,
yeah,
I think
processes are there for safety and first safety first, and then second, speed, money. Mm-hmm. Time. Money is time. Time is money.
Yeah, and you make neither. If you do something stupid, though, because after that,
exactly,
you're dead.
Exactly. So, and that's where people's opinions come in. Oh, well, you have to have spacers. Every single thing has a caveat or rule. It's like, yes, spacers are great, and I recommend it. But if you have a safety zone there is a point that it doesn't matter. Everything has a rule, and that's where the safety guidelines come in. The technology helps make those safety factors easier, speeding up time, and everybody gets to enjoy the show safely.
How about proper tool usage? What tools do you use?
Toolage. Proper toolage.
There you go. Toolage. I like that. Yeah. Toolage.
I mean, proper toolage, I guess it's like I suppose that's...
Wait, do you guys agree with, all right, so like I use anvil cutters for the most part, but if you pull out a razor blade, would you look at someone and go, you're going to cut that quick match with that? Or are you okay with that?
A razor blade? Yeah. What's on the other side of the razor blade? Are they just like literally shaving away at it?
No, like where you take a quick match and you kind of fold it over the blade and just pull the blade out. You know what
I mean? I don't see that as like there's friction. Sure, I guess it would depend on the state of the razor blade. If you're using a rusty ass razor blade, then maybe that's not a good idea. But
then what's the difference of a razor blade on an anvil or an anvil cutter?
it's this, to me, that's like there's rubber on the other side, or there's
the problem with scissors is it creates friction
the
as the two come in contact with each other.
Well, I'm not talking about scissors though. I'm just talking like a standard razor blade, and just what I wouldn't see it being a difference, because when you're taking the razor blade and cutting the quick match, there is nothing on their side. It's just air.
Right. But if you're cutting it on a metal surface, different story. If you're cutting it in the air or wood, or it'd be no different than an anvil cover.
Like if you break an anvil cutter down to its simplest form, all it really is a razor blade that's providing you a supporting surface to make the cut on top of.
You need to cut it.
And I would think, like if somebody handed me a box cutter and said, go
Your
fix
match
that.
is too long. You
quick
need
match.
To
I mean,
cut
typically
it.
I've always made a long cut along the quick match and then just folded it over to expose it and then put it into a bucket. If it's like, if you're creating a pass fire or something.
What about for fuse though? How many times you taken a razor blade and just cut the fuse?
All the
time.
I've used box cutters, like just for standard fuse. I've even used scissors. It's not what everybody would go. Oh my god! Oh my god! I mean,
again, that is one of those things. As minor as it could be, risk factor, it's still.
It is risky.
A risk.
I'm not at all diminishing that it is not a risk.
Eliminating as much risk.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. And
it's all about eliminating the risk that you can eliminate. There's some risks that you can't eliminate, but that is a factor. Is like I can choose to use scissors or I can choose to use an anvil cutter. There's more risk with the scissors, albeit low, but if you can control that factor, great. You can't control the, lightning coming out of nowhere on a bright sunny day that just where did that come from? But you can control whether you're using scissors.
Yeah, making that angled cut on fuse was always really important for consumer pass fires. And this is it's neither here nor there, but like the anvil cutters, when you stick fuse on the anvil cutter, it's going to make that 90-degree cut. And I'm sure there's ways that you could probably finagle it to try to get a 45-degree cut. But I always found it easier to just take a box cutter and then cut the fuse that way. And that's essentially using the same method that AJ was talking about earlier. Just taking the box cutter, folding the fuse over, trying to get an angle on it, and then just pulling it.
How about clothing? I saw something on our Discord a while back. Someone was talking about clothing and not being allowed on the shoot site because of what they were wearing. How many times have you seen people that do not wear just cotton?
I don't know. That argument now, like here's a good example of times that maybe this could be eye-opening for us. When we went to COBRA and we were wearing our jerseys, what did we complain about for the first 2 hours behind the booth on 2 days? Like we're sitting there basically static.
My 100% cotton hoodie that wasn't keeping me warm enough.
Well, AJ and I were in the back, pulling these things off of us because they're stuck to our bodies because there's so much static, and you don't really think about it. But at the same time, it's like, okay, when you if you applied that to a field perspective where you're dealing with E-match and conductors that are attached to pyrotechnic materials that could potentially go off with the contact of static electricity. I think it's a valid point. I've always kind of sniggered at when people say that, when they're like, oh, you can't wear that on a shoot site. You can't wear that on a shoot site. But I think there is some validity to the concern. I think there absolutely, if you're on a hand fire line, you need to be wearing pants and long sleeve shirts and
don't wear one of my work shirts.
Yeah, right. The right material is going to make it so you're not going home with burns and a shirt that looks like Swiss cheese at the end of the night. But
I saw that one
I
shirt.
absolutely believe that there's validity to it.
Just turn into napalm.
Oh, I know what you're talking
What do you
about
think?
Wow.
Very bad shirt. Very bad.
I want some more fireworks. They're gone.
I see what you did there. Lucky for you, he's an easygoing guy. What do you guys think on clothing?
So, I mean, I'm guilty. I wore the jersey on a shoot site doing stuff.
I think all of us have.
But I kind of wonder, as much as we sweat on those days, because when you're sweating, that doesn't stick to you like that. It's different. You know, it takes that charge away kind of thing. I don't know. I wear, what are these? I don't even know how you describe this stuff. Like the basketball shorts, like Under Armour basketball shorts. It's what I wear in the summer all the time. I don't really have any cotton shorts.
Yeah, those are staticky too. Yeah. But I mean, I kind of agree with your mindset in that when we're out on the field and we're doing that work, a lot of times, like, I don't think twice about it. I think when we're at the hotel putting on these jerseys, there has to be a degree of, walking around in the hotel room on carpet with socks on, accumulating static charge to your body while you put the garment on, which is why it gets the static charge that it gets.
Walk around and find out.
There's all kinds of garments and quality of shirts that result in static if you don't put the right shit in your dryer when you pull your stuff out after it's been washed and dried.
The right shit in your dryer.
Like static, the static things.
Dryer sheets.
Yeah, it's dryer sheets. God, what would I do without you?
Snuggle.
I just found it funny the way he said it. It made me laugh.
Yeah, those things that I don't like to touch because they make me cringe.
What are we talking about?
The dryer sheets. I don't like to touch those. They're this really weird. Oh, I can't stand it. It's like opening a Chick-fil-A bag with a sandwich in it. I got to think about that too. I can't stand it.
We're going to load your truck one day just full of dryer sheets at a shoot site.
Like one of his boxes when he opens it up for like all this audio gear, it's just like poof,
oh my god, yeah, we're going to send one of them gag boxes
because
he's going to start getting dryer sheets in the mail from all the podcast listeners.
You have to take that part out,
thinking of you.
People are going to walk up to you with a dryer sheet.
Hand me a dryer sheet.
The dryer sheet's going to get you.
He's going to put it on his shirt. He's gonna have it sticking on his shirt sleeve, and he's gonna freak out. Oh, that's just great.
I'm sorry, Bo. That was too good, though.
That's what she said.
Okay, well, they can do it with the Chick-fil-A sandwiches too. Just take the Chick-fil-A sandwiches out of the bag before you give them to me.
Oh my god!
You don't like the Chick-fil-A bags?
No, they're too wet. I rip the bag completely open, like that alien.
Are we still talking about the bags?
Yeah. Rip it right down the middle and flatten that thing open. I want the sandwich out of it. I'm not gonna
stop.
I'm not sticking my hand in there.
Stop. I love you guys.
Seriously, you put this anywhere. Do not put them anywhere near my thousands upon thousands of dollars of audio gear. I will absolutely murder you. You put them anywhere else. I'll bring the leaf blower and I'll just blow them everywhere. I will hate the way that it smells, though. I don't like that. But
that's why you got to use Snuggles.
Snuggles. Oh God. Let's see. All right. What else can we talk about for misconceptions? What's another good one?
Misconceptions about dryer sheets.
How about for the people, newbies trying, like, for instance, this kid who what was his name again?
Dismal.
Dismal.
Which
there you
one?
go. Kind of like him, thinking he wants to do this. So people who go into, around the 4th, like working for a company for the first time, they're like, oh yeah, this is awesome. And they get out there and it's like, no, dude, most of these people are just here because they're having fun blowing up free money. Like, to them, it's not a job.
Yeah, blowing up other people's money is pretty fun.
Yeah, but to the other people, they're like, "Oh, it's got to be. It's like hazard pay, right?" No.
People pay for this experience, bro.
Yeah, well, and understand too, if you're gonna get yourself into any employment agreements or clubs or what have you, make sure that you understand wholeheartedly what you're signing up for. Because the reality with like a lot of nonprofit clubs, and this may be a misconception. You may think that because you're now a member of a nonprofit club, and because your nonprofit club is insured, that you're good. If you blow your leg off, you're going to get this, fancy RoboCop leg. You're not, like, unless you have and even if you have killer health insurance with your day job, you didn't blow your leg off at your day job. You blew your leg off doing something in your downtime for a club that likely holds insurance for property damage. It's liability insurance. A lot of that has nothing to do with if you blow yourself up. So understand and ask questions. Don't ever be too timid to ask questions. Sit down and formulate 25 questions, 30 questions, 50 questions, whatever makes sense to you. If it comes to mind or top of mind, get it out there in front of people.
There's no
that can answer.
question.
There isn't. There really isn't.
Unless it's AJ.
Even in that case, it's only stupid for a second. He's only going to make fun of you at first, and then he's going to give you a good answer.
Yeah, exactly. What does that mean?
You leave the interaction knowing. Yeah, right. There you go. This is your oath, and this is so you remember it.
I remembered all my plumbing stuff.
Thank God for you. I think one of the biggest misconceptions with newbies is that you need the bigger product. And this is like that transitional period between the people coming from the consumer world and really want to get into fireworks, because like, I think I was there. I was that guy that was going to Shelton and like asking the dude, I'm like, hey, this is great. Where's the big stuff?
Where's the good stuff?
Where's the good stuff? I mean, this is nice, but like, where's the real big one? And then they just look at me like, this is it, my man. And I'm like, no. You don't understand. WEBN fireworks down the road. I want that. Where's that? You got that back there? Is that in the back? Can you go get it?
Yeah, get it. I know you got it.
I know you got it. I know it's here. You got all these fireworks. Yeah. This warehouse is huge. You got to be.
Your shoot site determines that too. 1-3 is great, but if you don't have the shoot site for it, it's kind of pointless.
Yeah. And I mean, as fun as it is to design in software, and with the tools that we have available to us now in visualization software, it's easy to want to go into the software and build out this crazy awesome show, and then think, this is going to be really easy to roll it out into a field. That whole design first, site later mindset that new designers can have.
Yeah.
When I got really excited at first, I was designing shows having no realistic idea on how to translate, like how those would translate into the real world. Then you finally
how long it takes.
And then you finally you experience the logistical side of the show, which was all the stuff that you didn't really pay attention to at first, of like, okay, well, I know that I want this firework to start here, so this is part of my pretty picture in software. But then I just know that I need to put that there when I get it out to the field or onto the water. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I got to run a wire to that. And 57 other things.
And a boat.
All on a boat.
And a boat. And another one.
It's just a 4x8. It's just a 4x8.
You're right. Hannah got to do this 2 more times? Oh, man. No way.
Yeah, I guess that's what all of us started off. Think of the first time you ripped apart a cake to do it by row. Like, it was like the first time I went to go do it. I remember thinking, all right, how do I get this to do this? Okay, I got to rip this side open. I got to pull these out. Granted,
I got to seal it, got to put the hole in it, got to put the match in each row, got to label it, got to seal it off. Oh my God, yeah.
And then you get done and you're like, wow, that was a lot longer than just poking it.
That's what she said. Anyways, when I did Buzzsaw, just 3 cakes that I made, it took me 6 cakes to make the one that I used in the show 2 years ago. It took me 6 hours, 7 hours just to make 3 cakes by piecemealing them together.
Project.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Like, oh, that's not a big deal. I'm just going to rip this section off and fuse it together with this section. And I'm going to take this section and put it over here. And then I'll just tape it all together and I'll match it right here. 6 hours later, the entire day is gone. And I'm like, I got all this garbage, like debris everywhere, but I got 3 cakes.
Yeah. Well, and I'm sure
just for 12 seconds. How
long did that take you initially to gain what you felt like was an intimate understanding of not so much just a little past
that's a whole nother level right there.
Because I think there's a degree of apprehension that goes into doing that because it is. It's totally, I mean, these are explosive devices, man. And, understanding
having
how
the right
they
tools.
work.
Yeah. Having the right
understanding
tools,
how they work and the right tools is a big part of that. And it's something that a lot of budding pyrotechnicians do. I think spend the time on figuring out what works and what doesn't work and what are some best practices that other industry personnel are using. But for the most part, it was a point of hesitation for me initially.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's definitely something that you shouldn't necessarily be afraid of, but you should respect. Never lose the respect and the fact that this is dangerous. You can't be scared of it. You need to know what it can do, but you need to always be cautious and not get, as AJ says, complacent. With it, and just make a mistake. You need to be aware that, hey, I need to focus on this. This is very important. There is proper techniques of doing this and safety measures that are in play using brass and other devices that are anti-static and making sure that in those type of scenarios, I'm very focused on wearing the right clothing, making sure that it's a humid day or a situation that I'm sweating my butt off, anything I can to alleviate any type of static electricity because I want to be hyper focused on safety when it comes to doing anything like that. And it's not that I'm scared of it. I respect it, Yeah.
I think there's a little other part too that you can't always fear it because if you constantly keep fearing, you're going to end up messing up.
Exactly.
You just have to just be smart.
Yeah, respecting it and being afraid of it. There's inherent differences between.
You need to acknowledge that it's a dangerous item and respect that, but you can't be afraid of it. If you're afraid of it, then you need to have somebody with you to guide you to you're comfortable with it, but you still got to respect it even if you're comfortable with what you do.
Or just don't touch it and leave it to the pros.
Yeah. I mean, if you're so comfortable with it, smoking a cigarette, running your fan beside you and, everything else is, you got your scented candles running away because you don't like the smell of black powder, with socks on a plastic table.
Dryer sheets hanging from your
dryers running,
throwing salutes like they're grenades.
You got all kinds of issues, especially if there's fireball tubes out there. But you just got to maintain your level of respect and always be safe with anything you do. It just takes one accident, one stupid I shouldn't have done that, I knew better moment that can change your life for sure.
Yeah. I like it.
That's what she said.
Oh my God.
I like it. I like it. All right. It's good discussion. Group dismissed.
Hello, no one is available to take your call. Why don't you ever pick up the phone? I've got something to ask you. When was the what's in your brain? Guys, there's so much knowledge in here. Ready, I'll give it to me.
Dismal says it's his mom. Actually, no, it's his dad. His dad's the one that's holding on to his. This is going to be like a soap opera thing.
What the?
Sorry,
Oh,
are you
Dismal.
here? Is AJ home? Can he come out and play?
I thought
Dismal.
we were going for a voicemail, so that's what I was
We
like,
are
he
going to
called?
voicemails. I'm just letting you know what I was trying to get caught up while I was listening to the song.
Oh,
It's because
On
you
the
need
track.
a focus. You need a hyper focus on the task at hand. Distractions are dangerous, Bo.
Yeah, no, they're not. No, they're not. I'm gonna do what you guys do and read the chat.
we have a chat.
We have a chat. Yeah, we got a chat. Well, tonight we have a chat. It's the Discord. It's the Discord that I was told to open. All right.
All right, listen here, Boozazzy. I got a question for you about this here
Boozazzy.
virtual visual episode I'm trying to watch. Sitting here in my daggum office, trying to watch this episode on the YouTube on the TV. When my boss walks in, I hit pause as fast as I can so we can't get the language drops here in the office. That's unprofessional. And then all of a sudden he looks up at the TV and there's daggum little loincloth draped baby Boozazzy getting his slats out on the TV.
No, that would be.
What in the world am I supposed to tell my boss about
that was
this one,
Jamie.
Boozazzy?
Jamie was getting a slat from the Lord. Just tell the War Department that Jamie was being gifted a slat when
Oh
Jamie
my
was done
God.
working on the Shoot Site Caesar's pyramids. The legend has it that he was gifted a Mucksport slat.
Oh my God. You're
And
Bo,
he
Jamie.
and he was thankful.
There you go. On the next thumbnail, put names above us.
Yeah, label everybody. Give everybody, hello, my name is Jamie. Hello, my name is Caesar.
And we should have worn name tags at Cobra Con.
Oh, God. Okay, it's the voicemail everybody's been waiting for, the Censor Fest. 2025.
Boys and girls,
Oh,
ladies
boy.
and gentlemen, boys and girls, here we are.
All right, so I got to give context behind this too.
We
I've not listened
definitely
to
need
this.
context.
So the context is this was at CobraCon and somebody had the bright idea
After hours.
17 gallons of alcohol to pass the phone around to everyone at
After hours.
after hours
clear.
party.
CobraCon 2025, the Afterglow party that everybody
Yeah, baby.
out on us. But yet we are here from the Afterglow that Jamie, the godsend, that made fire once again. Fire. Made fire.
This had to have been after you fixed the. Was this after you fixed the fire pit?
I believe so.
It has to
I
be.
think I just did it.
Yes,
Oh
give
my
it
God.
like Tom Cruise in Castaway. I made fire again,
Yeah, that's pretty much how it went.
again.
Jamie, would you like to make a comment?
I just assembled the machine and reassembled the machine,
Oh my God. Jamie's on the voicemail.
Did you
That's
hear
funny.
that, AJ? So,
Yeah, Dana wants to know if you heard that, AJ. You heard that, right? He assembled it once. How can you assemble something that was already assembled?
You can't.
You can't. That's the 17th beer
reassembled.
talking. Yeah,
It was reassembled.
fight new HVAC. HVAC. Fireball.
Oh,
posting it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, CobraCon 2025 was a blast. Here we are, live from Mr. Canada himself. The Mongoose system was not shot here.
At all.
At all. But was it? It would have been fantastic. There was a Chinese system shot.
For a guy who doesn't like Trump, he sounds like one right now.
And that was it right there. So I knew that this would happen because Dana was like, this was so tame compared to what I thought this was going to be. This was so tame compared to what I thought it was going to be. But I told Dana afterwards, I'm like, you know that the voicemail mailbox only has a 90-second clock on it, right? And he's
I
like,
thought he called back a second time.
He didn't. No, there was only one. So he must have.
He probably thought he did, but he probably called somebody else.
He must have missed the button, which is funny because
It's this one, guys. I got it. On.
Yeah.
Hey,
well, I'm really having fun picturing them passing around a phone that's in complete standby. It's literally black, and everybody's just talking into it for a half an hour.
Yeah, he had lots of.
He's leaving a voicemail.
He had lots of old-fashioned syrup. That's for sure.
He's very articulate for a drunk guy. Very articulate.
He's over-articulated. Yeah, he was my favorite Canadian for sure.
I thought that was going to be
clean that up a little bit so you can hear everybody in the background talking too.
It said excellent
finding stuff in the back.
Yeah, I'm quite sure we'll publish it, and then all of a sudden something will get through that we didn't quite hear now, and that I won't catch and edit. Huh.
Yeah, sadly, I was the soberest one there.
But you had to be to fix the fire pit that one person on staff at the hotel is probably qualified to fix. Actually, God. I would venture to guess that nobody at the hotel was qualified to fix the fire pit at all. I bet they don't have somebody on staff that could do what you did.
At 1 a.m., not so much.
That was
1 a.m. and
1 a.m.
seeing three of everything, and then you got it.
You guys were up till like 4 something.
Yeah,
they were up to like 5 something. I went to bed at like 3.
God, no, you did that.
What night was that?
I didn't stay. I'm like, that
was Saturday night, right?
Bad. Yeah. If I'd have stayed Saturday night into Sunday, I would have woke up going, we're staying another night. I'm not driving anywhere.
Just need to rest.
I almost just left.
The Lord needs a day of rest.
The Lord needs a day of rest. No, I just couldn't come home to, oh, it hurts. It hurts.
Yeah. Oh, he called you after that phone call, so it was pretty late.
Yeah. That's how I know when
he called you. He's like,
I slept the best message ever. I called and I was talking to these people. I still have it. It's you know what? I should give you that, Bo. That's a good voicemail.
Because when you didn't answer, I called you and I looked at the phone. I'm like, oh crap. He's probably just got home and in bed. And I hung up. Oh, God.
It's Jamie. Hold on. We got to call the local jail and we got to make bail.
I made fire.
Who would have thought you could get arrested for fixing something?
Sir,
oh my God.
Is that chewing gum and a clip?
In a paper clip, right? Yeah, you need an actuator. Duh.
They call me small time MacGyver. Come on.
All right, it works.
Yeah. Okay, I'm not going to hit the Pyro News jingle for this. Congratulations to Curtis from KCAP. Way to go, Curtis. I haven't watched your show yet, but I saw that you won the Spirit of 76 competition. Congratulations, my dude.
I did watch the show.
Did you guys watch the show?
Yeah, I watched.
I saw a sim. I haven't seen the show.
Okay.
It was just like it was just the ending song was like something
Really?
about, it was like the beginning or something.
No, yeah,
they
I saw that
couldn't do.
there's a big uproar, and it's all KCAT people that are like, this is unacceptable, YouTube. For some reason, YouTube doesn't like these songs.
I figured Curtis would have sent it to me. I was a little disappointed, but he's probably waiting on Fro to upload the video.
Just put it on Vimeo.
No, I think Travis put it up, or at least. Oh, you mean the whole thing.
Version? Yeah,
the whole
Yeah,
thing.
Curtis sent me the sim, and I saw it and was like, "Oh, that's awesome, man!" And I was waiting to see the video, and he had never sent it to me yet. And I'm like, "I need to see this thing." I see one.
Yeah.
last song.
Well, I
was
can't
really
wait to
good.
watch it. I can't wait to watch it. All right. I think that's it for this week. Hope everyone's well. Guys, we need to start thinking about what we're going to do for our 100th episode. We're
Oh my
5 away.
God. We talk
Right?
that much?
Yeah. Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. I think I might put a poll up in the Discord and see what people want to do.
Yeah.
We should do something. I was thinking
Live questions and answers.
Maybe
That could be
another. Well,
interesting.
not live. I don't know. Live. Maybe I don't know. I'd like to do a live show. I think it'd be fun.
We could do a live show of fixing the podcast.
Fixing the podcast
Again.
What does that mean?
I take offense to that. I don't know what's wrong with the podcast.
The pre-podcast podcast. What really happens in the before and after the podcast? The unknown hours you do not know about. The podcast is a lot like Pyro Musicals.
Yeah.
It's not as easy as it looks.
For the last 2 years, I've had a camera over my shoulder taping every hour on time lap that I put into the podcast behind the scenes. The 100th episode is going to be the time lapse footage. It'll take a week to play every.
Just play it like Chad and CJ do it 2 times speed.
So everybody feels my pain. I'll play it in half speed.
Looks like a sloth.
It really probably need to be quarter
dramatic.
speed. It's probably quarter speed for you because you got to listen to everything 4 and 5 times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
right. These
I
two
don't know.
are idiots.
I've started editing in like 1 point. I'd say like 1.2 is the fastest that I can go before I start hearing things out of context.
That's why he doesn't want to talk to us when it's on the podcast because he has to listen to us too much already. He's only got enough brain cells for the podcast. So we probably should stop talking about it, huh?
Stop talking about it.
Stop talking about it.
Stop talking about it. Dismal, you keep talking about it.
Yeah.
Keep talking to mom,
Raise hell.
and then you're 18 years old. Just go walk to the driver's license plate.
To the driver's license place.
Walk it out. Walk it out. Walk it out.